Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with Umbral, Equinox, Noctis. No actual Noctis included, but that's a joke that I think everyone else has already made about this fight, so we'll just get that out of the way. Bringing a team of Ultimecia, Edward, and Vincent, because I was challenged by Ventus Jack for the Simply Lost DFFOO Content Creator Challenge to use Ultimecia in the current Lufenia, so here we are. Probably could have just done some kind of delay-based zero-turn run or something, but Ultimecia happens to work well on one of my favorite strategies, so here we are with another iBrave run. Edward and Vincent, along with the two Tactics armors, providing enough debuffs to bring their iBrave to 0. We have a Pain Call on deck for when they raise their stats at 50%. And Ultimecia herself, thanks to her multiple turn EX, is going to be able to push them back quite a bit. Or at least with regularity, maybe not very far back. Before we really get into this, of course, let's get that shilling out of the way. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoy what you see here. They're both very minor things you can do, but they do actually help me out quite a bit in terms of kind of helping me grow the channel and reach a wider audience. So I do really appreciate any support you provide in that sense. So, what is there to say here? Offensively, in terms of the calls we're bringing, we actually only are bringing Kurasame, because we need the Pain Call for later to reapply the 0 iBrave, and we actually need Warrior of Light Call, because these guys are going to do that, the big floaty attack they do, Globulated Crush, and that's a dangerous hit. The reason we're letting them do that is because if we let them stay floaty, they resist our Brave damage a whole bunch, and we can't be dealing with that. Edward's our only support here, and as much as I love Edward, he's not going to be carrying our damage through heavy reductions. Also, before I forget, I want to give Simply Lost himself a big congratulations. He recently announced on his channel that he and his wife are expecting a child, so from one expectant father to another, congrats Simply. I couldn't be happier for you guys. That's tremendous. So we are bringing them below 80%, where they're not cleansing, and that's just, that is great. We're happy to see that. You'll notice that I actually removed Edward's his extension buff for his skill 1, because he's not applying the defense down. It does affect the Brave damage it deals, but that's not a huge consideration. It's still maxing on battery basically. But basically, the defense down was was giving us some real estate issues, which is kind of funny given that we're up to 8 debuffs now, but so it goes. So we're actually going to let them hit us here. Reason being, we just need a bit of extra breathing room, and we can afford one attack from each of them. Thankfully that 0 iBrave plus Vincent's attack down means they're not actually going to hurt us. They debuff us, but nothing significant that we can't overcome. We were spamming HP attacks with ulti there to kind of preserve her a little bit, because she still has those longevity issues, especially, I say still, she has even more than before. Just tougher fights get, the harder it is to keep her topped off, but nothing that a little bit of HP attack spam won't get us through. Using Sleep with Edward now to refresh his LD buff and to keep us safe. The delay obviously is about to kind of not really do anything, because they're going to just do a little do-si-do here. Very cute. But it's okay. It gave us the breathing room we needed here to kind of get them back on track in terms of pushing them back. I hope you weren't expecting a 0 boss turn run. Sorry for the disappointment if so. But here we go. Nice big launch. Thank you, Edward, for that. I think what I love the most about this strategy is that we're taking 3 characters who are quite old. Vincent LD and Ultimecia BT are several months old at this point, and Edward, he got his LD boards a couple months ago. I forget exactly how long ago, but they weren't like overpowered or anything. So the fact that all 3 of these guys can still show up and put in some work is nice. Granted, these fights haven't been the most challenging. This is probably the hardest of the 3 fights we're currently facing, and that's mostly because of the orb, which we're actually kind of completely neutering thanks to the 0 iBrave thing. So, but it's nice to see that units that are several months old can still be brought to content and still be useful and have a place in your team and provide you with that joy that they gave you the first time you used them. So, this is probably going to be the last run from this event I post. I've done a few others since then. I had a lot of fun last night running, who was it? Noctis, Jack, and Queen, and in the second fight, that was against the Arceella bugs. That was a wild ride. We basically using Noctis and Jack to turn jump in front of them the entire fight. It was a pretty crazy adventure, but I don't know if I'll end up posting it. I mean, if you really want to see it, I can rerun it again and share the video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more runs from this event, such as that team or others that I've tried to work around with. I did a Reno run for the Imps that I had a lot of fun doing. Forgot that move doesn't battery. Anyway, that's enough about my my content creation adventures for now. It's time for the 50% threshold. They've cleansed, they're floating. We need them to take a turn because, as you can see, the damage is kind of piddly otherwise. We're going to sadly use a Protean Sword to charge the EX and not like it. As I've said before, Ulti doesn't charge her EX during the free Griever turns if you use an HP plus. So use a skill there just to charge the EX gauge, followed by a Brave plus to conserve skills while they're resisting all of our shit. So something I actually didn't notice, I wasn't really paying attention to B and didn't notice that they aren't queuing up an all attack like I expected them to. I assume once they start floating they would just have the all attack ready. So we have Warrior of Lightcall on deck. And we get tanks their big attack, no problem. Now he's taking normal damage, but B cleanses, and I'm like, wait, what? What just happened? So we're gonna go ahead and drop our Kurasame calls. It's a good thing I didn't do that before they cleansed, so that I feel pretty smart for doing that. With Edward, we're going to HP attack because I want to keep his. I want to keep the enchant from Kurasame active, and I. Wait a second. Who had Kurasame? Yeah, no. Why did I HP attack there? I had a reason for HP attacking there. It's probably not important. But anyway, it's time to bring in the Pain Call. Now we're bringing them back to zero Eye Brave, so back to our usual tricks. Resetting that break with the launch, because that's something that happens when you have zero Eye Brave. Launching actually resets your break status, which is kind of interesting. Just something to keep in mind, because now you'll see here, I don't want to... That's what I... Yeah, there we go. There's the Kurasame Call. I knew it was here somewhere. I was hoping to push them both back, but in any case, at least we got to maintain the break order, even if we didn't push them back. Because we needed to put one more Vincent debuff on them before we could bring in Setzer. Why Setzer, you say? Well, mostly because he was there. This team, relying on Edward's damage isn't that great, support-wise. Or, yeah, it's just its auras aren't that great. Not that I don't love me some Edward, but come on, let's be real. So I figured Setzer would step in and provide us with his rainbow numbers as a crutch to avoid the fact that we don't really have most of the, we don't have the Sephiroth call, we don't have the Jack call, we don't have the Varus call, we don't have a really good Aura bot. And that was the thinking. In hindsight, maybe something like just another Burst Friend or a Garland, Garland to Tifa, something would have been better, but hey, shiny new toy. And this way I can use Setzer without having to actually, use him and have to, you use Setzer. Look at that. My goodness, the damage is tremendous. You love to see it. Bada boom. We are getting a little nervous about the turn count. Their turns are now in the Shadow Realm, so we're not worried about them coming back to us or anything. Thank you, Ulti, for the deletions there. But the turns are actually... Turn count's getting pretty high up there. I also realized that Edward's LD buff had fallen off. Luckily, Setzer's kind of making it not an issue. We're HP attacking with Ultimecia there because we want to try and use the EX outside the summon, so we're trying to kind of queue that up with the HP attacks because we only have one skill left. It's a good thing that I was saving them earlier. And now we're going to go ahead and do it. Apocalypse. It's floating again, that's not good. Another cleanse. Hate to see it. Last skill from Ulti. Thank you, Rainbows. HP attack, and now Edward is going to try to take us home here. Hiding. And the final shot. Max damage. There we go. Simply Lost Creator Challenge. Use Ulti in the run. Thank you, Ventus Jack. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Adios.